Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm back on used up all my free time on StreamYard, so I hope you can hear me. Oh, wow. What is the fascination that Katie Joy has? Which, that's what I want to know. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you are in for a ride. Yes, it's a crazy. So, let's see what's been happening today. Also, there are some new reviews on IMBD. Again, very, very interesting. And there's a video out that I want to show you that is quite amusing. So there's a lot to do tonight. As usual, not so much time. I stay helping my daughter and her partner move house. They got ripped off by removalists, unfortunately, and we have had to help them. Look, this is a new setting. I'm at the top, and hi Barbara, how are you? Can you hear me okay? So we're going to start with this one here. A message to James and Derrick from Prissy.
B-Dash, what are you doing over there? You don't need doing this. Why are we doing this? Miranda, you come from a house where most black women like me would love. You have a mother and father in your household. You got a mother and father in a household. Stop playing with me. You know how many of us want that here? Like, I don't understand, like, what it is that y'all searching for, but Crump has always been something to uplift. It ain't never been this on. B-Dash, what are you doing over there? I want to be with Miranda. Why are we doing this?
Wow.
Why?
Wowza. That makes no sense. Says the truth about.
Before the story was about Miranda and Melanie Wilking, there was a story about a woman named Hannah Lee and her sister Susan. Hannah Lee, who now is Hannah Shin, is wife of Robert Shin. the fourth wife of Robert Shin and the third wife to marry him within this cult. Hannah came into this church to save her sister, Susan. Susan had got married to Robert's nephew, Ryan, and Hannah wanted to help her sister get out. To help her sister get out, Hannah got into the cult with a man named Peace. Obviously, because her marriage was arranged by Robert, the marriage didn't last, and she divorced Peace, and throughout the time remained loyal to Robert Shin, being and freeing herself from this cult. But Hannah was sucked in deeper, and eventually became Robert Shin. She's more than 22 years younger than Robert. Hannah was not always a vindictive and cruel woman as described in lawsuits. She didn't always physically assault and attack people. In fact, friends from her life were shocked by the docuseries. One of his childhood friends reached out to me and said that she was the sweetest, most loving woman ever. She even helped teach vacation Bible school for children and loved having kids, and they were heartbroken because of her involvement in the cult. She never became a mother. They were even more shocked to hear about her physical assault of Priscilla in the series.
Alleged.
And to hear she had become such a vile and despicable woman. Sisters that's been split and divided by Robert Shin. She and her sister do not speak, or if they do, it's very minimal. And people from his life that loved her no longer have contact with her. They don't even come. Hannah has now been accused in a lawsuit of physically assault, as well as defrauding people, controlling their every move, and dictating what they can and cannot do. Hannah Shin has thrown her life away for a man that has no loyalty to anyone, that will throw her under the bus in a heartbeat. Robert's son Conrad told me this fall that when everything goes down and if his father is finally arrested, he will try to frame Hannah Shin for everything, and he will make her take the fall. Hannah could leave if she wanted to. She doesn't have to stay. She doesn't have to be the evil woman that she's become. She can leave and free herself, and she could do the right thing by helping to dismantle Robert and help bring charges against him. Yet she remains loyal to Robert and is his most brutal enforcer and abuser of women in the cult, allegedly.
Okay, so Miranda Melanie Wilkin, not the only sisters ripped apart by Robert Shin. She's essentially read what this said. She essentially has read what she wrote here. Your courage to continue to keep this story going. So look at the comments. So there's that. Tight Eyes is called out by Prissy. Yep, we've seen that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, wait on. No, so that was B dash before.
I'm not the one, Chaz. You better be prepared for when them cops come to you with handcuffs. Stop having your mouth on me. Stop. It's not going to get you nowhere. It's not going to get you nowhere but behind bars. I just got to make one phone call, Chaz. You already know what time it is. You to my house. You the one cried in my arms at the 818 session after your brother died. After your mother passed my house telling me what you and your friend did. And you thought that what did, it drew an even harder line in the sand, because now I gotta look at you as what you really are. You're a predator. In more ways than one. You prey on the weak. You prey on those that still needed to be molded. You prey on women that are looking for father figures so they're the daddy in you when you yourself ain't no man. A real man to come into the city and right his wrongs. A real man will come and apologize to all the people that he's hurt. But you won't do that because you think that it'll cost you. God will honor anything that you do in righteousness. And everything that you do right now, damning the crumb community to hell. I thought this was your mom. Don't send nobody my way. I dare you. Ooh, I'm begging you. I dare you, jail, bro. I never ran from one of these. Not on you. Holy Spirit, I'm not the one. I'm not the one, Chaz. You out here making diss tracks?
Right, so she says, same eyes, tight eyes, called out by prison. He should be in jail. He has on him. Okay, so what does she have on him? I don't know what she's. Prissy is the queen. All right, so then we've got Robert Shin is using Slovak Dancing to Dreams by Fleetwood Mac as a statement and mockery of victims of his cult and essay. And this is Stevie, not the man. Stevie would stand on the side of the survivors, not the man harming the women. Stevie Nicks is a legendary singer, songwriter, musician. She's a pioneer for women's rights and equality. She often speaks out about her fears about women's rights slipping from society. She's on the world walls of misogyny and become one of the most successful artists to ever record. She would not condone her music being used in this way. Hello, Terry C. How are you? So, this, as I've stated before, I mean, Taylor Swift actually said about the fact when she first started, she didn't own her own music. What Stevie Nicks would say, all songs are for sale, is the other thing that I would say. Update. For Sleuth by a follower, this save was used when they filmed in an empty theatre in May. It's the video show that she's got the same manicure. And poof, James Derrick is back this weekend. Amanda Reno's return to Instagram. The dance is to a popular song is The Devil to Lie, but not a coincidence. Poor Miranda is again wearing pants with a huge hole. This is where she's fascinated with her crotch. I think she must have maybe it's in her stories where she zoomed in on crotch. Let's have a look at the story. Miranda's crotch for some reason, and I don't know why. So someone has actually done here's a review. I strongly recommend the docu dancing. It is shocking. You've probably seen the cute, talented, famous TikTok dancers, and if you follow them, please don't. You're only supporting Robert Shin. You're only supporting the Predator SA cult leader, Robert Shin, who controls and brainwashes them and controls their accounts and their money. I hope they wake up and leave as many other be in danger of violence, SA, and harassment. The cult is now under pressure. Some of the dancers are still in the cult. So essentially someone else is telling people to unfollow. All right, so Jane, she's outfit in a ripped outfit. So she's fascinated by the Miranda actually did that. We go. This is why she is. I've said she's fascinated with Miranda because look at that. She's zoomed and has is actually now the thing. The tight eyes rejection. A lot of the stuff she's put in stories, she's also put in her posts as well. Okay. Then there's my question.
And take it. Don't know what happened to Reno. I can only assume based on what I know about Shekinah and how they operate.
Now, interestingly, she talks about Shekinah there, 7M.
Go and on the go.
And she's saying we figured this video was filmed in mid-May and trying to show that he's not off the grid. Doesn't she realize that you can do a whole pile of filming early and then just upload it when it's ready? She could be Derrick. Isn't that disturbing though? That she zoomed in at Miranda's crotch. Fascination with the. Now, Miranda did say that she actually split her pants when she was at that time. So that's why. Coco Shuffles wants attention and vandalism. She also defending Robert Shin. This dance is horrible. Whoever at 7M, this dance is horrible, and whoever at 7M who is signing her should be fired. That makes no sense, Katie. And because Katie knows all about dancing. Oh, isn't it funny that they're all coming? I just find it very funny that suddenly everyone's got a story to tell. So, and I'm not going to play it because I mean, again, we've got this fascination. So we've got this, which says integrity, don't beef with men that have allegations with SA. Concrete is certainly of no longer engaging in dialogue with a man that doesn't deserve a platform. A lot of people are talking about tie-dyes right now. A big problem. People talking about the allegations with their has been harmed by tie-dyes should be encouraged. Help the women that have been hurt and give them direct solution. No one should be platforming anyone connected to Robert Shin. Period. The word of Crump needs to come to the realization that Crump was created by tie-dyes and a few other people. He is at the center of the movement, even if you want to move him. You can't move tie-dyes out of Crump. The Crump community, I don't know that Crump can ever move on from one of the people who helped create the movement. So now it's interesting. This is what Concrete says. It says, after tie-dye's rejection to battle, after I confronted him about this and a moment of self-reflect, I have realized I can't pay attention nor do business with people who I'm lost. Somebody once said, how people do business is a reflection of their being. That being said, I will not participate in any future on both ends. I'm going against my brand. I snapshots and recordings of tie-dyes saying, oh, halt, thank you, let's continue. Go. Now, it's interesting. What's written there is not what she has said. There, Concrete saying that tie-dyes wouldn't engage with him, and I'm wondering whether he got it because he said asking people to stop sending him quotes to talk about babies and kids. Who does that? It's a bit perverted, isn't it? Here we go, Alicia.
Is completely off the grid and taken out of the public eye. I don't know what. I can only assume based on what I know about Shekinah and how they operate. In 2022, when the live from the Wilkins happened, Robert assigned certain people to go on social media and speak and send a message to the public. And Reno was not one of them at that time. So based off of that, I believe that Robert did not want to use Reno as a voice for him, and maybe because Shekinah and 7M to tell Reno to close out his account, because I believe he would have done that on his own. That's just not how Shekinah operates, unless they changed. So please speak up and ask questions. Ask him where he's at. Completely off.
So that's we said Shekinah and 7M, but her experience has only ever. She's not a dancer. She says baby shares uses on social elected dancers. That's not what she said. That are allowed to post a specific message. If someone disappears, it's because Robert doesn't want them to for them. Dancers being used the most to push agenda. Nothing they are posting right now is authentic or real. There is a hidden agenda and message in every single post. So for speaking up for Nick. It's important we continue to ask Robert where Nick is and why he's hiding from the public. Why is Robert focused so? Why won't Robert speak for himself? Because Robert is a coward. That's my opinion. Someone says, why doesn't his family do a wellness check or a missing person check? She says, right, not going to speak for the family. Being offline doesn't mean that Nick is missing. But what's she saying? She's saying that he's missing, and then someone's well, why is doing and then she says maybe he ran away from the cult. Oh, he didn't run away. How do you know? You know a thing. You're making assumptions. Stop Shekinah cult. Someone's pushed. Stop Shekinah cult. So, yeah. So that is essentially her Instagram. So it's very, very, very bizarre. But let's look. Let's go to. So we've got here 5 out of 10. First from the 1st of June. It says, I've just finished the series of 3 episodes, which I initially found interesting. I think it's great to uncover stories like this, and the interviewees were incredibly brave for speaking out. But episode 2 and 3 didn't take the story much further or resolve anything. There was a lot more filler that went off point. I wish the editors had just summed it up in 1 episode. 3 episodes was totally unnecessary and a bit disrespectful of viewers' time. Please, Netflix, if the story doesn't go anywhere, then cut it down. Stop trying to make a series when there's simply no content for a series. Now, I thought this one was interesting. This one's a 6 out of 10. This one says, what about Bob? Now, where is it? Why can't I get to it? This story was interesting overall. I was not familiar with 7M or any of the dancers prior to watching. I felt for many of the people involved, both the dancers and those unfortunate enough to be drawn into the church in its early days. The glaring hole I found in this series is the lack of insight into the titular devil, Robert Shin. I expected some amount of series to focus on his backstory. He's heard repeatedly stating that he was a doctor. Cults hold a fascination because most of us can't fathom how one person could have such sway over many other people. This series does a disservice to its audience by never dissecting who Shin is or how he came to found the church in the first place. There is not even a rote discussion of how he went from being a doctor to a pastor or how he ended up in LA. I understand the aversion to giving him more attention, but at the same time, the story feels incomplete without it. Instead, it's just lots of footage of family members reminiscing about their lost children who are still inside the church. Well, their story should be told. It became repetitive after a while, particularly because there was no satisfactory resolution to be had. Bottom line, this is an easy watch. It's above average in terms of Netflix true crime fare. Yet another movie that, if I didn't rate it, I might forget I ever actually watched it in the first place. So there you go. So that's a really good point, because it wasn't about Miranda, and it was about Robert. Why? Why didn't they make it about Robert? Why did they focus on Miranda? Is the question. This one's a 5 out of 10. Netflix true crime docu-series are usually well done and great. This one was missing something for me. I do not have TikTok and was unfamiliar with all the dancing that takes place on the social media platform. I had never heard of Shekinah Cult or the 7M Management Company, so I was interested in learning more. I watched the series and I feel I do not know that much about Shekinah Cult. I was expecting to learn much more. It appears they are doing a good job at keeping the inner workings of their cult secret. Only a few former cult members are interviewed, and they don't share that much information. If you want to watch a true crime series without paying attention and multitasking, then this is the show to watch. What is it about? This one's a 7. What is it about egotistical men under the guise of religious use and abuse people to feel powerful and line their own pockets? This is not an isolated instance, but a story repeated over and over, and the religion may be different or skewed for purpose, but the underlying desire of the leader is always the same, and the damage the exact of the people who've bought into their lie is profound and devastating. This documentary follows several young people, some more recent and some from the church's early origins, who have been lured into Robert Shin's Shekinah Church in the USA under wholly false pretenses. Again, everyone is talking about the church. Can you see that? It should have been called hello, Alberta and Stella. It should have been called the Shekinah Cult. Then they could have had all the people that they wanted in. But they only, because they focused on many of the dancers, and only 2 were from the Shekinah Church. Only 2 went dancers, you see. Anyway. Of the more recent group of young people are talented dancers, all starting out in a competitive career in dancing. Of course, when Shin sees this, he has dollar signs flashing in his eyes, and through manipulation and proselytizing, he, along with his family reinforcers who follow his lead, also benefit financially, is able to utilize their talents to make their accounts overflow. This is not a stupid man. He sees the gains to be made on the backs of these fresh-faced, talented people, sucking dry as they dance up a storm on social media. But he also knows that religious and business are not palatable bedfellows for masses, so he develops a production company, 7M, where he can work them to bone by day and preach to their young brains and tired bodies at night. Along with targeting young people who know what struggles is, or those who are just plain vulnerable, he quickly gets them locked into a one-sided contract and his false prophet mantra. Here's the thing. none of those dancers actually showed a contract. I would be interested to see what their contract states. It says, so it goes on and on and on. It's a very long review. Okay, so this says, as many people point out, this story is too short to be made into a series. If it was a 1 hour and a half documentary, it would have been more consistent. The story is necessary to be told. I myself didn't know about it. It's hard to understand how the people subject themselves to this kind of cult, particularly Miranda, who looked like she had a supportive family, loving sister. But why would she abandon them and everything to live it with a crazy old man with a history of abuse is hard to understand. I agree that people have a right to choose their own path. But if there's evidence of SA, as it seems to be the case here, there should be intervention investigation because there are victims. Many victims of SA don't get it. And there's that. Another cult investigation. And it says, hello, cheap glass. Yes, I've seen that. I saw that footage that Llama Girl pulled out. Oh, that was a very that was not the right saying when you're talking about digging things from her crotch. I didn't mean pull out like that Llama Girl had found, but yes, I do realize that. Anyway. So that one was a 7 out of 10. This one was a 6 out of 10. Everyone is saying here it could have been done shorter in one episode. This one says 5 out of 10, a typical Netflix doc. This one is a 1 out of 10. This is quite literally the most pointless documentary I've ever seen. And this one's an 8 out of 10, a 4 out of 10. Hard to watch, impossible to finish. The people in this all have brain rot from TikTok, including the creators. It is unfocused, jumping around, narrative all over the place. People are really annoying to listen to. Watching the TikTok dancing made me sick after a while, says this person. How this got the green light is beyond me. Some pointers to make it good: don't let annoying people talk too much. Don't show annoying, naggy people being annoying and naggy. Don't show TikTok videos of dumb people doing dumb dances. Again, literally no ending, no result to lawsuit. Main character is not in the document and no one gets closure. Interesting. 8 out of 10. 4 out of 10. And this was maybe TikTok, or maybe Netflix should consider viewers of coupons, those who are able to sit through the 3 episodes. Another one, lost interest, 3 out of 10. 5 out of 10. This one was a 10 out of 10. They gave it 10 out of 10, but they said I would say it dragged a bit in the middle. 5 out of 10. 3 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Another 10 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 2 out of 10. This one says some of the sources are untrustworthy and particularly mentions without a crystal ball. When your family can't control your money anymore, that was a 5 out of 10. Very powerful. 4 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Don't get the point. This docu-series, nothing but imitation of Wild Wild America. 4 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Another unresolved time waster. 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10. There you go. So I wonder, and this is interesting. This is just like this is the 14th of June. So this person gave it 10 out of 10 because apparently they've just realized they're in a cult as well. So there you go. Let me find the Llama Girl. And let's watch this thing here. But I don't know why she had to focus into. Don't know why she had to focus into the crotch of Miranda. Oh yeah, and like there is some stuff that's now disappeared. There's some stuff that she's there is some stuff that Katie Joy had on her stories that have disappeared since. And I just always find it very interesting when they disappear. So this, Robert Shin just didn't come up with 7M films off the top of his head in 2020. His lawyer and a mentor, Shirley Kim, filed for the trademark in 2011. The trademark was granted in 2012. He's been plotting and searching for comp dancers for years. Now, what I found to be very interesting was it doesn't actually tell us who owns the trademark. It just says that there was a trademark. So that's what I found to be very interesting. She is, well, we know that she doesn't like pretty, talented, successful women. We know that. Oh, I can't find it here. We know she doesn't like talented, successful women. So, yeah. And that's a really, really sad thing, is that she's really, really concerned about it. Okay, I want to show you something. If you haven't seen this, this is Without a Crystal Ball versus Without a Crystal Ball, and she's put together a video. This is actually very, very scary. All right, so I'm going to speed it up. So if you haven't, please make sure you look at her channel, their channel. I should say theirs. I assume it's a female. She's always saying she deletes deletes her accidents. I have swampland in Florida to sell to her minions that believe her. All right. So here we go. If you haven't seen it, watch this. This is brilliant.
I want to share this live so people know what I'm going to be talking about. That there's a lot of professional dancers that were following this. So it was about a year ago that I actually found, it was actually more than a year ago, that I started reporting about this church in California, because Kelly and Dean Wilking, along with Melanie Wilking, made this Instagram live, and they were basically talking about their daughter/sister. Melanie is the daughter, and Miranda is her sister, and then Kelly and Dean are the dad. And basically, this was the story. Miranda Wilking, she's now Miranda Derrick, and people were saying that she was stuck in this cult-like group, and that the cult had, yes, Miranda and B-Dash, and that the group had a lot of control over her. And her sister talked about how, you know, the church services were very controlling, and if she missed an event, she would get uninvited to things, and they wanted full commitments of people. This situation ended up becoming this like huge story. Everyone starts covering it, and Robert decides that I am the reason that all of this is happening, that I've somehow decided that I've turned a private family dispute into a public scandal.
Now, she's come with receipts, because this is what's interesting. It says, please check this link in the bio for our full video. I've included Miranda's response. The truth will reveal itself in time. Good will always win. Family comes first. Katie Joy says, I sent you a DM. I have a platform to help. Wilkins Sisters at Without a Crystal Ball. I appreciate you so much. Then she says, Wilkins Sisters, I'm here to help in any way I can. I cover cults and abuse by cults on my page. This is what I do.
And that I have blown this up, I'm spreading mistruths about him, and I am trying to take him down.
We will get him, Tim. We're on the same team, y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to team up, all of us. The dance community is not going to let Robert get away with this.
So in April of 2022, he filed this lawsuit against me, and he said that I was lying about him. And on their Instagram, they posted this statement basically saying that I was spreading malicious things about them, and they were looking at all of their like legal ramifications, and I ended up getting sued. Okay, now this.
Remember that? Remember that when she denied that she was being sued? And everyone says, but you're being sued.
Lawsuit has not been, the lawsuit against me is still ongoing. This story has become more of a personal project for me. It is crap. The whole lawsuit is crap. We went through the entire lawsuit today, and it's bullshit. It's baseless. There's literally nothing to it. There's claims in there that aren't even things that I said. And they also used like things I didn't say in there. They also posted like upon information and belief, meaning they had no proof of what was said. I love court records. You know, I wanted to be a lawyer. Anyone that takes the lawsuit, that 7M, seriously needs psychological help.
Oh dear, this is amazing, isn't it?
You need psychological help. I have made negative dollars on this story. Negative 30,000, if not more. I don't know. I just paid like another $1,000 this week. So
I have been reporting on 7M for 2 years, and
so she put years ago, this is new content. I know this content is new to the channel. I'm always nervous to bring new topics. Please reach out by
3 months. In that time, I have been sued, I have been slandered, I have been smeared, and I have been attacked by accounts that Robert Shin is using to run a smear campaign against me. And these accounts are all working for Robert Shin. And if they're
These accounts were already reporting and documenting Katie Joy's online behaviour for a year.
not working for Robert Shin, they're lying. Because Robert Shin, when
So, for example, WOACB versus WOACB, which she says is one of the accounts working for Robert Shin, joined in September 2021, a full 12 months before Katie Joy started reporting on Robert Shin.
this all started, reached out to a bunch of content creators and troll accounts to help him troll me and run a smear campaign. 2 days ago, they started working for Robert Shin. And if they're not working for Robert Shin, they're lying. Because Robert Shin, when this all started, reached out to a bunch of content.
And Miss Balls also was October 2021. So Miss Balls is also, so these two accounts that she says is working for Robert Shin, or was set up by Robert Shin, were around before she even knew who Robert Shin was.
Creators and troll accounts to help him troll me and run a smear campaign. 2 days ago, they started telling Kelly that my reporting was going to result in Miranda ending up being. They got her so terrified. That my reporting was going to result in Miranda ending up being. They got her so terrified. Spamming her, these same accounts that posted my photograph of my house, spamming her, saying that I doxed Miranda. Then they go and retaliate by doxing me, which is whatever. I didn't dox Miranda. And
Liar.
Can we roll the footage of that tape in question?
So again, where WACB versus WACB only uses her own words against her.
Miranda Derrick is back again, filming content from her townhouse. Even though Miranda has allegedly told friends that she lives on her own and doesn't have anything to do with Shekinah Church and certainly doesn't live in property connected to them, this is actually not true. The home she's filming at is actually a rental that was leased through Shin Real Estate Group.
So what she's done here...
Through the realtor, Matthew Shin. Matthew filming at is actually a rental that was leased through Shin Real Estate Group.
So down here was a number. And so she's redacted that because there was details here that showed the information. KJ knows she's been untruthful. Well, this is why she doesn't like Miss WRACB versus WRACB, because it's her own words being used against her. Hello, A. Laubin.
Through the realtor, Matthew Shin. Matthew Shin is Robert's new...
But it's interesting because she said listed through the... Have a listen to what she says because her information is wrong.
Shin Real Estate Group.
Hang on.
And
Can we roll the footage of that tape in question?
Miranda Derrick is back again, filming content from her townhouse. Even though Miranda has allegedly told friends that she lives on her own and doesn't have anything to do with Shekinah Church and certainly doesn't live in property connected to them, this is actually not true. The home she's filming at is actually a rental that was leased through Shin Real Estate Group.
Now, interesting, it says listed by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Patricia Fleur and Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Amnion Burton. Sold by Shin Real Estate Group, Matthew Shin. It doesn't say that he was the listing. It's been listed by a different agency. So her information, what she has just said, was wrong, in my opinion. Notice how she cropped out the record by the edits on the arrow. See? The edits here. So
through the realtor, Matthew Shin. Matthew Shin is Robert's new right-hand man after his previous right-hand man, Daniel Joseph, left back in 2022. Matthew listed...
Here, you can see she cropped out all the dots in information here. So it's been redacted, but she had all the information here.
The rental that she lives in back in January of 2024, and she and B-Dash are renting through a lease agreement through Shin Real Estate Group. Matthew is a real estate agent and broker, and Robert is known...
Hi, Julianne. How are you? As I said, it says it was listed by another company.
To place people in rentals that his real estate company manages. As a result, Matthew and Robert make a commission off of all of the real estate deals and lease agreements. Matthew is listed as being active in his church from his profile on Realtor.com and Zillow.com. Matthew is also listed as a mentor in the lawsuit that was filed against him, Robert Shin, and basically the whole gaggle of mentors that are a part of Shekinah Church. In the lawsuit, they allege that Robert exerts his control and dominance over people through mentors, including Matthew Shin. Robert moved B-Dash and Miranda into their own place to make the appearance as though they were independent and disconnected from him. Miranda and B-Dash have gone as far as to tell friends they are no longer involved in Shekinah Church and are not managed by 7M. These types of lies have become very common for people that know Miranda and B-Dash, which is actually shocking because neither one of...
Alberta and Stella says the blue waffle Katie Joy does nothing but dox and lie about others.
Them had ever been dishonest people. That is until they became involved with Robert Shin. Former members have alleged that Robert Shin teaches his members that it's okay to lie because the ends justify the means, and people out in the world can be lied to because they are spiritually attacking his church. So not only does Robert Shin have them lie to friends and family, but he's also making money off their lease agreements from tithing as well as from their management contracts. Miranda is still very much under Robert's control. And all of these posts that she's putting out are likely at the direction of Robert to make it appear as though she is happy, independent, not controlled by anyone, and certainly not controlled by Robert Shin. This is part of Robert's PR game, so please do not follow these dancers and let Robert win.
Again, we're talking about tortious interference.
I'm a liar. I don't lie. I've never lied. Never.
I'm posting that Miranda's house is leased through Shin Real Estate. It is to help people understand that she is still under Robert's control. Some information about sort of the living situation for the dancers, and specifically, I will not be answering questions about where they live, what houses they live in, or their addresses. It's extremely important that we protect them right now, and I don't want anyone showing up at their houses or anything like that. Like, I don't want to put anyone at risk right now. We want to be able to expose what's happening, but we don't want to put anyone at risk. So I am trying very hard not to give away too much.
Interesting how she has previously said, "I'm not going to give out any information," and look at the look at the changes in her face as well.
Point, yeah, the safety of the dancers is like the paramount, but it's also the safety of you, just to not get involved in something where you're getting yourself involved with. You might be trying to go find them or whatever. Just like, it's not a safe situation. I will not be answering questions about where they live, what houses they live in, or...
It says she's got here, Robert Shin's church is now located in Sunland neighborhood in Los Angeles. The church formerly housed the school. So here she is showing the information. It sits on 15 acres. There's a main building.
Their addresses. It's extremely important that we protect them right now, and I don't want anyone showing up at their houses or anything like that. Like, I don't want to put anyone at risk.
Someone says, I live in Sunland, very close to the church, and this particular area the house is in. Yes, I found the address too. Is actually quite nice and not dangerous. So once you cross foothill, that you get the less. So there you go.
That's right. We want to be able to expose what's happening, but we don't want to put anyone at risk. So I am trying very hard not to give away too much. At this point,
yeah, the safety of the dancers is like the paramount, but it's also the safety of you, just to not get involved in something where you're getting yourself involved with. You might be trying to go find them or whatever.
See, she's giving an she's again showed the information.
Or just like, it's not a safe situation. They then spam Kelly saying Kelly's going to kill your daughter's going to end up. People are going to show up at her house. I mean, the kind of crap they're sending to her to make her scared is atrocious. The next day, Miranda goes live after those accounts that are working for the cult terrify her mom, posts a video saying that her mom is the cause of all of the threats that she is getting. So it's not just that they're telling her, you're causing Miranda to get these threats. They're telling her Miranda's going to end up murdered. And then the next day, Robert has Miranda post a video claiming that these people are going to kill her. And it's her parents' fault for making a documentary.
But before this documentary, my husband and I, we felt safe. Now that this documentary is out, we feel like our lives have been put in danger. We have both been followed in our cars. We have received hate mail, death threats. People have been sending us messages to...
See, apparently, she's saying, I spoke to, and the reporter told me they got photos of the dancers out yesterday. So no, you aren't being gang stalked. This is called media. Also showed Josh Duggar's guardian's house, and his guardian tried to say they were unsafe because of a photographer. Remember when she said that? Hello, Lulu, how are you? So I'm hoping Restream's working okay. I've had to go to Restream for a little bit because I've run out of my free StreamYard time. So this is WOACB versus WOACB video that we're watching at the moment. And I've sped it up.
We've been stalked. Someone said that if I see you on the street, I'm going to come and gut you, so you better get security. Someone also said that if I see you walking on the sidewalk, I'm going to come and shove you in the trunk of my car. So these are just some of the messages that I've been receiving behind the scenes.
And she says, Derrick certainly doesn't look scared, and then Netflix. Oh.
And I don't understand how my parents and my sister thought that this documentary would help me or would help our relationship in any way. I don't understand that. And honestly, I think that my parents and my sister have focused so much on this documentary that they've forgotten about working on any relationship.
Thank you, Lulu. But I should be okay after Tuesday, hopefully. I should be all right after Tuesday. It's just, do I have it? No, we don't do Vimo. We don't have Vimo in Australia. We've got his PayPal. Hang on. Let me just grab my PayPal.
With me. And that hurts. That hurts me to say.
If Miranda's posting that she's getting threats, it's because Robert Shin has been telling her that she needs to post the video saying that she's getting threats.
When I talked to someone who's gone to some of these things that's been out for a while, they said that Robert is really like about, he doesn't tell people what to do or what to say, but he's very manipulative in that, he makes people feel like if you do the wrong thing, you're going to go to hell. You're not going to get the blessings by God. Everything good that happens in their life right now is an indication to them that God loves them and God is blessing them. Private investigator. Maybe a private investigator can snap a photo of Robert. Wouldn't the best revenge be posting a photo of Robert? Would that be doxing? We wouldn't dox. I've been scouring looking for a photo of him.
And what I think is really disturbing is that Robert Shin has now employed somebody to send photographs from my neighborhood to a fake account without a crystal balls. It's without a crystal ball.
Shout out to Balls, Miss Balls.
Yep. She also goes by Balls. And
no, that's Miss Balls to you. Thank you very much.
And these accounts were only a couple days ago making Kelly feel like that her child was going to end up. So somebody in my neighborhood is walking around with a camera for Robert Shin. Think of how psychotic you have to be in my neighborhood.
I'm just going to have a look at that. Interestingly, can you see that the picture that WOACB versus WOACB has actually done shows Robert Shin's house on one side. I'll let you know, Lulu. Let me have a look.
Taking photographs of my house
I'm just saying to like whoever my neighbor is that's helping Robert Shin, you're disgusting. Like, you're so beyond disgusting. If you live in my town and you are helping this man, that is disgusting. It's just weird that I live on a dead end. This is what's weird, you guys. I live on a dead end that the street does not go through. I know every single one of my neighbors. I know everyone that lives on my street. So you're either driving into my neighborhood and you're taking pictures of my house, or you're one of my neighbors and you're doing this, and that's disgusting. So Robert is apparently having a bit of a panic. One of his neighbors who lives on the same street as him reached out to me today to let me know that they saw a lot of cars parked out of the church property. The church actually is a school that's being used as a church, even though there's not really public services. And it has like this apartment that's a home. It has like 5 bedrooms. And apparently there's not a lot of cars usually parked there. And according to the neighbor, there's been a lot of activity there, including Robert's car, a white luxury car. We're still waiting on the kind. And Isaiah Shin's BMW was seen out there. And you know that the last time this went viral, Robert went a little bit bananas and he put everyone in NDAs and basically told them if they didn't.
So on the one side, you've got her complaining about the fact that, I'm still waiting for it to load. On the one hand, you've got her complaining because somebody's, taken a photo of her house, and then on the other hand, she goes, "We're still waiting to verify the car." Oh, thank you, Lulu.
Like it, they could leave.
Basically told them if they didn't like it, they could leave.
Well, it sounds like he could be doing some more strategy. And so just remember, everyone, just because you see them dancing and smiling doesn't mean there's all happiness. And just because they post photos with their families doesn't mean it's all good. All right, y'all? Robert is a man that likes to control narratives, so stay tuned.
Look at that. Let's have a look at this.
It doesn't mean there's all happiness. And just because they post photos with their families doesn't mean it's all good. All right, y'all? Robert is a man that likes to control narratives, so stay tuned.
Look at that. Let me have a look. It says upgrade. $20 a month. There you go. No, I'm monthly. $25 a month. There you go. That's what it is. Just so that you can see. And I know it doesn't sound like very much, but sometimes it is a lot. But anyway. So yes, isn't it interesting? Yes, AU, I think. Is it AU? No, I don't. Let me just have a look. No, US. $25 US. Which is $37 Australian. That is the problem. The conversion rate sucks. It's great for you, not great for us. Yeah, but it's okay. Yes, it is. Look, see, look at that. Oh, yeah, so my membership. Oh, no, so my membership. I have membership as well, channel membership, from 99 cents to $4.99. Correct. Yeah, I'm pretty cheap. My memberships are pretty cheap. Yeah. I was just talking about for StreamYard. Not the free. Look at all of this. that. Look at all of this stuff here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lulu. Look at that. It's not about Miranda. And KJ James claims not to be obsessed or stalking Miranda. Correct. No sound? What? Trats. Okay, hang on. That's right. You're not missing out on anything, really. Sorry. This is why I've got to go back to StreamYard. Oh, because I switched it, didn't I? Hang on. This is better?
There's nothing in that name, meaning that there might not be any legal records with her name in Miranda Derrick. Her records, there's not a car in her name. There's no car or assets connected to her. There's no home connected to her. There's not even a current address connected to her.
Is that better?
Don't just focus on the one person. This is not a story about Miranda. This is a story about what Robert Shin is doing to a community of people. But it's not just about Miranda. We don't want it to be just a story about Miranda. Am I going to talk about Miranda today? Yes, but this is not a story just about Miranda.
She is under Wilking. She is not under Miranda Derrick. So if you search Miranda Derrick, there's nothing in that name, meaning that there might not be any legal records with her name in Miranda Derrick. Her records, there's not a car in her name. There's no car or assets connected to her. There's no home connected to her. There's not even a current address connected to her. The last address that's on here is from the condo that her dad owns in LA and her parents' house in Michigan. Yeah,
Is that better? But this is a very good video showing you that she has no she doesn't remember her own lies.
I haven't been able to find proof of a marriage either. It's weird. When I look up James, it says he's 99 years old. Do you think James is 99 years old? I'm sorry, he's 93 years old according to this. But it's him. No car. No address.
Allegedly. That's what my source said. And then the other thing that they heard was that B-Dash was given money to buy a Tesla, which he paid for in cash. So my concern here is that
I don't know another channel paying for all these documentaries. We don't get people's birth certificates. We don't dig into people's past, even back to their childhoods. So no, please, there are two different classes here. And without a pot to piss in, this one is not in the same realm.
Someone today told me that they heard that Tight Eyes, is that his name? Tight Eyes? So they told me that Tight Eyes was telling friends that he has never been paid. That was what they said to me. So they said Tight Eyes, for some reason, hadn't been paid by these people, and he wasn't making them any money. You're living in housing of Roberts. You're driving a car of Roberts. You don't have an address that's searchable, Ches, because before you met Robert, your history of evictions and credit problems were so significant that he's taking advantage of you, clearly, but you don't care because as long as you're there, you make money. And if Robert loses in court, you're going to be paying for the damages because you're the fool that is giving all of the money to Robert. And the only reason Ches is staying is because he knows he can't leave. Because if Ches leaves, he has nothing. And so it's almost like he's punishing James by staying because James would leave and he would have his friends back. And they all believe that it's not Robert that's holding him there, but it's Ches. My biggest thing with Ches is that he has all of the power. And he is literally holding James and Miranda and the rest of them hostage in this situation because he knows if he leaves, he has nothing.
Look at the face on it. Yeah. So this is all heard. But
no, Ches and Kendra are not married because Ches is still married to Tanika. And I speak to Tanika and some of her sisters, and I speak to James's ex-wife, Angela. Someone told me this. Okay, so I was talking to someone who has familiarity with how these Bible studies worked. And there's they've sort of arranged it, they said, it's a multi-level marketing scheme where there's some guys that are at the top that get more stuff and the other guys don't get the same kind of stuff. And so some of the guys get to go to more Bible studies, and apparently the Bible studies are separated by sex.
I've never paid a penny for anyone's birth certificate or anyone's marriage certificate or anything else. I have for my grandparents, so I've started doing my family history, and I was interested in, I've got my grandparents' death certificate, but to do that in Australia, you actually have to prove that you are related to them. So I actually had to prove that I was the granddaughter. But yeah, I've had to pay for my birth certificate as well. So I've got marriage certificates of some of my ancestors as well. But you just can't go up and get some random's birth certificate in Australia. You actually have to prove that there's a connection and explain what the connection is. And in some cases, I've had to have my parents apply for it as,
And for some reason, they're having a hard time luring women into this group. So then the guys are having to lure their girlfriends into it. And that's why they're getting the girls in. And now I think that the marriages are to keep the girls controlled so that they can't leave.
It's something that I've been thinking about a lot. And I did talk to Miranda's mom about this tonight. We were talking tonight about how did she get pulled into this? How could this have happened? It just doesn't make sense. Long story short is that I believe truly that all of them are victims, but I also think that in a way, B-Dash is responsible in a way for bringing in all of his friends into this, and also for his relationship with Miranda. There's as a mom who's in my 40s, there's red flags to me in the relationship between B-Dash and Miranda, because she was only 21 when she met him, or 22, and he was in his 30s, and
she cannot talk about an age difference because there's an age difference between her and Toad. You can't. Seriously, you can't now go down that path.
The Bible studies are separated by sex. And for some reason, they're having a hard time luring women into this group. So then the guys are having to lure their girlfriends into it. And that's why they're getting the girls in. And now I think that the marriages are to keep the girls controlled so that they can't leave.
It's something that I've been thinking about a lot. And I did talk to Miranda's mom about this tonight. We were talking tonight about how did she get pulled into this? How could this have happened? It just doesn't make sense. Long story short is that I believe truly that all of them are victims, but I also think that in a way, B-Dash is responsible in a way for bringing in all of his friends into this, and also for his relationship with Miranda. There's as a mom who's in my 40s, there's red flags to me in the relationship between B-Dash and Miranda, because she was only 21 when she met him, or 22, and he was in his 30s, and he had a child, and he was divorced, and he had come out of a cult. There was a lot of red flags.
A lot of red flags. She's so sunk in court, says Lulu B. Manda, hello Manda. KJ cosplaying as a journalist is so freaking dangerous. I'm not one who supports deplatforming, but I'd rejoice over getting deplatformed. Albert and Stella says, my husband and I are 10 years apart, so the heck what? Cheap glass, Lulu, I think Toad is 10 or 12 years older than KJ. Yes, isn't he? He's in his 50s or something, isn't he? And her dog is crying, begging to shut up. He doesn't want to be homeless. Yeah.
And she is, from everyone I talk to, like a people pleaser and likes to make people happy and try to help people. And so it's like, I'm sure for her, she saw someone that maybe looked wounded and she thought that she could help. But in many ways, it's like, what's a 31-year-old man doing, going after a 22-year-old when he's got a child and an ex-wife? And
what's a 31-year-old man going against? Hang on a minute.
Trauma, you know,
there was 10 years between my ex and I.
It frustrates me. They are all victims, but at the same time, there's an imbalance there. There's an imbalance. And he's...
Albertus says, heck, I was 22 when I met my husband. He was 32. He was the bus driver of the bus I got. Really? That's cool. What a great story.
Unfortunately, very controlling of her, you know, and so...
someone was telling me this, and first of all, I want to say this right off the bat. I've already told this to Kelly, so I don't want people to feel like I'm sharing information that her mom doesn't already know. I've already told her mom this, and her mom told me to tell you guys this, but they told me that Miranda is like never allowed to be alone, ever. Like, people are watching her constantly. She's not allowed to drive anymore. That's what they said. She's picked up when she's out with B-Dash. She apparently, like, he watches her the whole time.
Oh, gee, I wish I didn't have to drive anymore. She says it as if it's a bad thing. I wish I was picked up, that I had a car come for me every day. Heck, my birth mum is 7 years older than her, hubby. Miranda is 27 now, yes.
She's never seen alone. When she does leave, she like goes far away and waits for a car to pick her up. If you think I'm going after Miranda, I'm not. Nobody's attacking Miranda. Nobody. Everyone on this side wants Miranda safe. We want her out. We want her free. That's what everyone over here wants. No one's attacking her.
Miranda Derrick has actually, in the past, wanted to leave Shekinah Church and 7M, according to multiple sources that I've spoken to.
Hello, Sally B. So here we go. She's not been attacking Miranda, apparently, is what she's saying.
This all went down back in 2022 when a group of the dancers, which you all saw in the series, would meet together on Friday afternoons and talk about their issues that were happening within the church. During these discussions, everyone was there but Miranda. James would attend, and apparently James would go and he would hear everything about what was happening. He would hear from the other girls about their experiences with Robert, which were described as creepy, and Miranda was always mysteriously absent. In these same meetings, James allegedly told
the list that 7M must have all the defamation has got to be staggering by now. Well, I reckon all they'd have to do is show this in court, to be fair.
his friends that Miranda was expressing her own doubts about leaving, and he told his friends that he allegedly told Miranda that if she were to leave, she would have to leave alone because he was going to stay, and that if she did leave, that she would not believe in redemption. Several of her friends and the dancers pushed back at James and told him that he was manipulating Miranda to stay, and he would not budge. James allegedly did this to his ex-wife in another cult when she also expressed her own concerns about their other pastor, David, who was also a registered SO and had been accused of SA. Angela has previously shared in comments on my posts that James would frequently tell her that men of God are not perfect, they are still men, and all men make mistakes, and any man can be redeemed as long as they ask for repentance and repent for what they've done. In the case of Robert Shin, he has never asked for forgiveness from anyone related to everything that's come out, and he's instead denied everything. So James
hours and hours. She told Miranda's mum that she heard Miranda was never allowed to be alone. Why would she tell her mum that, says Amanda? It's a very interesting question, isn't it? I hated driving in LA, especially the 405. Hours and hours of video. Yeah, there's hello Ruth, how are you? Yeah, it's not something to that I'd say to a mother. I mean, you're not helping. I don't think it's helping. Hello, Lee.
Has allegedly made Miranda feel like she can't leave or she'll be walking away from God. James's ex-wife Angela actually had to leave him and leave the church in order to save herself and their son. James didn't leave until years later when his friends Tie-Dyes finally cut ties with their previous pastor. In this case, people do believe that James will also not leave until Tie-Dyes leaves, and he will also allegedly manipulate Miranda to stay. In Shekinah Church, women are taught to submit to their husbands, so Miranda literally has no power. Not only must she submit to Robert, she also must submit to her mentor Hannah and submit to James. Miranda really is the lowest person on the totem pole and has no power and may stay until James leaves.
I will, so this is like honestly becoming like my little project because I don't like bullshit fucking scammers that fucking hurt kids and steal their fucking dreams.
Blue Waffle's a good one. We would drive to LA and handed the keys over to a seasoned LA driver. Well, that's a good idea.
And these kids, they think that they're getting everything that they need. And they think that they're getting all of their dreams met in all of these collabs and they're in all of these commercials.
If you are telling people not to partner with them or to break endorsement deals with them because, you know, they can't leave.
That's right. Internet, do your thing. Confirmed ad with Forever 21. You could win a dear Toyota. You are supporting a cult. Wow. Summer Wines. Do you support cults? Here is a whole group. Here's a whole lot of stuff, sponsorships she's tried to ruin.
And has no power and may stay until James leaves. I will, so this is like honestly becoming like my little project because I don't like bullshit fucking scammers that fucking hurt kids and steal their fucking dreams. And these kids, they think that they're getting everything that they need. And they think that they're getting all of their dreams out of all of these.
Hang on, they're not kids though. They're adults, right? They're adults. We're not talking about kids. We're talking about adults.
Labs, and they're in all of these commercials.
So look at that.
If you are telling people not to partner with them or to break endorsement deals with them because, you know, they can't leave if they, if she's trying to like find some independence, if we're taking away their ability to actually make money. It just keeps them in a state where they can't move on. I have never been the one to interfere with anyone's influencing things. I've never.
Bullshit fucking scammers that fucking hurt kids and steal their fucking dreams. And these kids, they think that they're getting everything that they need. And they think that they're getting all of their dreams met at all of these collabs, and they're in all of these commercials.
If you are telling people not to partner with them or to break endorsement deals with them because, you know, they can't leave if they, if she's trying to like find some independence, if we're taking away their ability to actually make money. It just keeps them in a state where they can't move on. I have never been the one to interfere with anyone's influencing things. I've never contacted a vendor and said, don't work with this person. You can hate their belief, but like the only way they're ever going to change their mind is if you show them kindness instead of yelling at them.
Wow. Keto cycle terminates Miranda's partnership. Wow. Look at all the tortious interference here. Wow.
Leaving a cult is not easy. It's hard to leave and it's hard to deprogram, so please be patient.
But I just wanted to hop on and say something that I've said from the beginning of this whole event that's been going on. And that is that this is all very uncomfortable to talk about and share my personal information on social media. Sharing these things is not something that I like to do. It's actually been very difficult for James and I throughout this whole journey. But yeah, I mean, it started off as a social media thing and has turned into something much greater, getting people involved that shouldn't be. So I just wanted to give you guys a little behind the scenes of how I'm feeling about all of this. But yeah, and just know that I've been seeing your messages and DMs. They do not go unnoticed. You guys are incredible. Thank you for the support. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.
So much.
It's all like one big mind fuck, right? Like that's all religion is. And like, I just don't even think people realize that even their church is a cult, but they don't want to call it a cult. But all churches, in my estimation, are cults. Some are worse than others.
We will pass by a Catholic church and there might be mass coming out. It's like, see, they're done eating their God.
Right.
Done.
So a Pathos reader told me that there's not a lot of ex-Catholics on our channel. Is that true?
I'm an ex-Catholic.
Are you?
Yeah. Jack is, yeah.
See, I grew up Catholic and I grew up guilty and God was going to punish me and I was going to hell and I was, that's all all I remember about growing up Catholic was that my grandma was always pissed off that we didn't go to church enough and...
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's a mortal, excuse me. It's a mortal sin if you don't go to mass weekly.
The one thing that Satanists do right is bring art and culture back into things and say, hey, look, this entire portion of the story that you're ignoring in terms of the Jesus mythos and the biblical mythos is that there is a Satan character who, as far as we can tell, is probably the good guy who just lost.
I know, right? Because in the Bible, Satan is always the one that's common sense. I swear to God. He's always the one that's like, don't do it, man. Those types of things I will like come in and, you know, I'll talk about. But, you know, I've kind of gotten away from, in the blog, really being opinionated in my blogs and more just trying to provide a story with citations and sources that kind of give my bias without showing my bias.
Now, that's very interesting. Now, what made you go in that direction?
You know, I kind of got tired of writing about myself, to be honest. Like,
tired of being narcissistic?
Yeah.
That sounds very alien to me, Katie. Please tell me more.
Well, you know, when you're on the blogs, and you hear a lot of like eyes and it's, I don't know, like.
I also will look for other stories of, you know, rapes and then just because we're on Paxios and it's the non-religious sector and I want to piss off the people that are on the religious side, I just find pastors that are raping kids because that bothers them.
Oh yeah.
Well, did you have a question you didn't ask me?
No, I think we covered a lot. We covered a lot in an hour.
The only thing that I think we didn't talk about with my blog, like the meaning kind of behind it.
Oh, you mean behind like the title for it?
Yeah.
Without a crystal ball. So what does without a crystal ball mean?
So I have this whole kind of sort of philosophy. I'm gonna go start a cult actually about it.
Excellent.
Raping courses, charge admission, that kind of thing.
Yeah, correct.
Wowzers.
They're all victims. Kendra's a victim. Alexandra's a victim. Kylie is a victim. Concrete, B-Dash, Tight Eyes, Aubrey, Slavic, they're all victims.
So check out my channel on YouTube. It's in my stories. Share it. Tell all your friends about it. I'll do another video. It's a lot. Got to be careful and strategic. We'll talk shit about it here, though. And then over on YouTube, it'll be more professional. Good night, everyone.
Well, there you go. That's WIACP. This is WIACP. What do you think about that? Was that very concise? Or was that very concise? Because I think it was very concise. A blue waffle vaccine. Oh dear. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. Now, I need to warn you. I'm going to show you a video. Please, I need to put a warning on it. If you're eating, please do not eat. But we were talking about... Hello, short order. All right. This is a warning. Oh, there you go. It's from this video here, if you remember rightly.
Coco.
Remember that?
Well, I think his old... Hi, Jamie. I don't get over Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil's not doing the story. I mean, I will say this. I'm not a humongous fan of Phil, but with Gabby Petito's murder, his coverage for the family, on behalf of the family, was exceptional. The
What did you... JJ digging for gold.
Platform that he gave to the Petito and Schmidt's family was like none other. They had a safe place to share. He was compassionate. He donated, I think, $25,000 to the Gabby Petito Foundation. He was very just instrumental in presenting a empathetic human side to Gabby.
And that's when I said about, I think when Cheap Glass came in, I said when Lama Girl dug out that clip, and then I realised that it didn't go very well with the actual...
and a space for them to share their frustrations. And I don't feel like he did it in a very... I felt like he handled it with a lot of dignity. And like he gave them a lot of dignity.
Well, just as well you didn't watch. I did warn you not to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he helped them with, like, I think...
What did you just say? Well, that's the 60 minutes.
Gabby's murder was horrible. I'll never understand about Gabby's murder, about how his parents have not said a word. It has never sat right with me, even to this day, that they continue to use a stupid attorney instead of speaking. They were like robots.
So this was the clip.
I'll never understand a parent. It's just me.
This was the live stream that brought that out. And when I saw it, I actually was eating breakfast myself, and I went, wait on, I shouldn't have scrolled while I was eating. Well, I don't know cheap glass, but look, it was not great, was it? Doesn't matter what it was. It was gross. Oh dear. Oh boy. It was pretty gross. So we know we know she has a fascination with crotches, right? Including her own. So did you catch up with the news about the Chrisleys? Well, I don't know. I don't know, Lulu. Maybe that's why she didn't show her face for a while, because she found something there. I don't know. So the Chrisleys, I don't know, caught up with the news, but Julie Chrisley's sentence for bank fraud and tax evasion was thrown out Friday by federal appeals judges who ordered a lower court to redo her punishment. So they miscalculated her jail sentence. And so they've why did she put a blanket over her lap even in some? I don't know, Barbara. You almost lost your lunch. Yeah. So she the 3-judge panel of the 11th Circuit Court upheld the convictions of the Chrisleys and ruled and found a legal error only in how the trial judge calculated Julie Chrisley's sentence by holding her accountable for the entire bank fraud scheme. So the appellant panel sent her back to the lower court for resentencing. So we're pleased the court agreed that Julie's sentence was improper, but we're obviously disappointed that it rejected Todd's appeal. So she was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. He got 12. So they've got to, or now they're going to she will be, they're going to have to now redo her sentence, so it's likely to be a lot less than the 7 years. So I think that's good. I just hope I just hope they don't show that clipping court, hey? I hope they don't show that clipping court of she's the journalist. Is that why you start calling her the blue waffle? Oh dear. Somebody. So I'm on the Reddit at the moment. I'm on the WICB Reddit. Hope they show her handy. Yes, wow. Well, we know that she's digging. Someone says, so who do we witch hunt this week? Robert or Slovak? Your post wasn't clear. She said, definitely Shin. Slovak is a victim himself of that cult. I wouldn't target him. And then someone says, witch hunt? Okay, Robert. And it says, stop it. The dude is just dancing. You people need to get a life. Wrong. He takes all their money. It's them from their family. You need to get up to speed. Robert Shin is a cult leader. What are you talking about, lady? Right, I just see someone dancing, but I didn't know him or this beef with the lady has with him. I think it's the cult that he's in that she's opposed to, and the SA of women in the cult. So these are all her people. You're acting as if you're speaking for a ghost. Stevie Nicks is alive and still touring. If she can speak for herself. Someone says, "Sweet Jesus, you're filled with hate. You have nothing better to do." It's a great dance. There's a lot of issues. There's a real lot of issues for you to cry about. His dance is in no way offensive. Did Stevie Nicks actually say something, or are you projecting by speaking to her? Tag Stevie Nicks. You don't need to slam the victims. Vic is as much as a victim. Your dance opinion is unnecessary. You're a horrible person. Leave these people alone. It's just a dance. He's one of the best dancers on the internet. So I'm not sure what's so gross about. Need more content. Bruh, he's dancing to a video. Stop believing everyone has the worst intentions. Therapy will help you. Did you see what Miranda posted today? I think it's great. Digging for a new victim. Oh, there's so much that you could say. Digging for a new victim. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, she's in love. Yes, that's correct. Oh, dear. Balls is taking a well-deserved vacation. Now, so Nikki, a YouTuber, sometimes she comes in here. She got some interesting emails. And they are allegedly, so this one says, I've had 42 emails from KJ in just under a week. This is the person that we can't name. All to do with threats, harassment, stalking, and asking me to do things for her. I told her, and I'm telling you, I'm not interested in any of it. In the community, I'm clearing my name in talking to anyone. I cleared my name legally, the only way that matters. I rebuilt my life from rock bottom, and you know what? I've actually made something out of myself. I volunteer for 5 different charities, and I'm helping save lives all over the country. What KJP is doing and has done is vile. She puts her IP in the UK just so people think it's me. In the end, though, the police found 0 evidence against me and only a trace back to her. I've made an anon report about these emails, and I'm getting ready to make a full report with all her emails, voice messages, videos, and the monstrous creations to the sheriff at Wright County. I suggest you make a report yourself. Not one person deserves to have their life threatened. I'm sending you 4 screenshots that contain your name. She's probably shared these to more than me. Anyone, if her loyal puppy dog followers that's vulnerable enough could follow her direction at any point. Please stay safe. Contact your police department. Now, this is what the email has allegedly said. Tips. Out without a crystal ball. Can you email Nikki and tell her if she wants to keep her son alive to stop making videos of me? If you don't, Todd will. I don't know what Todd's going to do. There's another one. Apparently. So that she's also sent. So I don't know anything about it, but Nikki has definitely been sent some threats. And I just don't know what this is. And then this is time to stop being a target for internet trolls like this 7M Robert and his cult of drones. Cops in your own government don't care. You're brainwashed the moment you need religion to run your life. Someone mentions God and you pay attention to every word they've spoken. So I don't know what this is all about. It says, is she bored? Let the manic posting begin about that. Nikki's new video. Because, as I said, Nikki's been getting some threats. She's been getting...
Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a good night. I just wanted to say that I actually had a really good time last night. It was and I'm going to share what is doing and has done is stop making videos about me. If you don't, Todd will. I signed her up to some funeral sites today. You watched her YouTube video? She's definitely scared. Also, Todd created I have no idea. Remove all trace of it from Google servers, like the katieJMPaulson@email.gmail.com one. Thanks. Wow. Can you email Nikki and tell her if she wants to keep her son alive to stop making videos about me? If you don't, Todd will. If you don't send threats to Miranda, I will put all the blame on Misty. I want Nikki to take her video down about me too. I will have them arrested if you don't do this for me. Funny how my fucking video was taken down, huh? Can you email Nikki and tell her if she wants to keep her son alive to stop making videos about me? If you don't, Todd will. Sorry, there was supposed to be 4 screenshots.
So anyway, that was Nikki got those threats sent to her. A timeline of events would lead to Minnesota. I believe, yes. She doesn't deserve them. No, she doesn't deserve them. And I believe she has gone to her police department and she's filed reports, which is what I would recommend. So I just find it very interesting that somebody's made a reappearance again. She seems to reappear whenever Katie Joy has issues with the look, yeah, I just... It's just plain. She is obsessed. Hello, a beautiful mess. The other thing is Katie Joy's all over so she's all over Stop Colting's thing. So it says Robert Shin wrote a book about how to... Apparently he likes the book of Psalms. Psalms is actually a very good book. Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is often quoted with Robert and his members. Proverbs is an example of biblical wisdom literature, aka poem-like. Proverbs was written by a teacher to get your brain thinking and learning about your morals. It's not something to live by, according to this. You're totally sold. Yeah, I don't know if it is. Robert twists the Bible when explaining to his congregants and make them believe. But
the one who does the will of God lives forever. You have problems with your parents and family and all that stuff, you come here.
My children, listen when your father corrects you. Pay attention and learn good judgment.
But during the time here, you blossom and we develop a relationship. I've gotten to know you in a way that even your own family members have never gotten to know you.
Okay. And it says, and then she says, oh, how fundamentalists love to use Proverbs like a weapon. I'm sure all women are told to be like Proverbs 34 kind of woman. And then someone says, she says, it's Proverbs 31. And it's amazing and high praises towards women. I'm definitely not in a cult or a member of a church, but Psalms and Proverbs are my favorite book. She couldn't even get the Psalm right. Sorry, Proverbs right. She couldn't get the proverb right.
Media as well. Nobody wants to lose out on someone's potential, connection or offer or opportunity that they might have for each other. And so therefore, everybody plays this cordial and fake nice card, even when they know that someone is a person of wrongdoing, they don't do good by people, or the other option is that they know that this friend, right, they don't want to lose the connections with, supports someone who is of no good. So it's this big cycle of everyone just again, being out for themselves and also not standing up for what's right and supporting people who are of no good. And it's like you're only supporting them because you don't want to miss out on an offer or an opportunity or a connection.
And I will say that's really like disappointing and sad to see, because I see it with, the 7M, the dancers who are still a part of it, that whole situation. I see people I know still, supporting and showing love, and it just makes me question, like, hello, did you not see everything that just happened? And do you not understand that you supporting them is going straight to supporting their leaders who have done so many people, including me, wrong? Like, that's hurtful to see. And I think people don't realize that. And so
media as well. Nobody.
Yeah, well, anyway, again, is she telling people to not follow? Is using, as I said, I don't know whether, it's interesting because Katie uses, see, from Shirley, again, they don't really show us anything. So I don't know. Why do you have kids knowing they're going to take your time and money to cause what? From Matthew Shin. Okay. But it looks like KJ uses a lot of these people's stuff.
This is that I guess you were supposed to go to Michigan today?
Yes. So my grandfather passed away not too long ago, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And his funeral is this coming up week, and I just chose not to go home just out of my own grieving purposes, and they're not taking it very well at all, and they're kind of flipping out. So I'm so sorry. I am totally fine.
Okay. So we're like about 9/10 the way of making you a missing person. Is there any possibility we can come meet you and just make sure you're okay and everything's all right?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
She kept saying that when I said, please come home to Papa's funeral, you're going to regret it. And she said, I'll see. And I said, well, who do you have to ask? And she's like, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I'm just learning. So whatever she's involved in, she's got some kind of control over her that is making her afraid of something.
They're not upset, but they're definitely concerned. My understanding of this is that I guess you were supposed to go to Michigan today?
Yes. So my grandfather passed away not too long ago.
So here's the thing. Why, if she was hiding, would she have not said to the police? If they said, can we come and check on you and see if you're all right? She said, yes, sure, we'll meet. Why would she then, that doesn't make any sense. If the police met with her and were certain that she was fine, that should be the end of it, shouldn't it? Yeah. They were trying hard not to smile in that video. You're right. So, look, I don't know what's going on. I just find it really. I'm just very suspicious about a lot of stuff these days. Anyway, I've just looked at the time. I've got an early start in the morning, so I'm going to have to head off. Thank you, Lulu, for the donation to my PayPal. That's going to now get me. I'm going to get StreamYard back up and running again. So that's great. I won't have to use Restream again. So yeah. They were trying not, and here's the thing. So they were going to report her as a missing person, and the police said, "Can we meet with you to check on you?" And she said, "Yes, fine." So that if she was not anything of what she was supposed to be, would she have been able to do that? I'm hoping to be on tomorrow night. Short order. I'm on holidays from Friday, so but look, it will depend on what happens in the world tomorrow, I guess, for me. I'm assuming that we're still going to be talking about KJ because she just can't keep Miranda's name out of her mouth, really. But yeah, she has a fascination with crotches, as we know. She's got fascinated about Miranda's crotch, as we saw. She zoomed in. I mean, I just love how she criticizes people's dancing as if she's a dance expert. Is she going to be a judge on So You Think You Can Dance now, is she? Anyway, I'm going to, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Just thank you. And I will catch you again, hopefully very soon and next time. And try and, as long as no nukes fly true, and just be careful where you dig. You never know what you might find. Until next time, I will catch you later.